Happy Friday night. I'm ready for you. Got my leopards on, ready to go. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Robin. Hello, VBoo crew. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday night. How you guys doing? Oh, I thought I had something on me. Oops. Sorry. That's in stereo. Oh. Sorry. I was listening to something on my laptop earlier. Normally it's on mute. How are you? You like my sweater? It is. Like, I laugh that, of course, I got two giant leopard heads on my huge boobs. But I like it. Valerie's here and she knows, she saw the sweater because I ordered it. I love it, right? But I've been trying. I have a lot of clothes. I have a little bit of a problem. And I have a lot of clothes, so I'm trying while it's still cold to put a different sweater on every day. So we'll see. Every time I go live, I will have something else on because it could go for a very long time, right? Hola, Lizette. How are you in Puerto Rico? How you guys doing? Yeah, this was one of the ones because Valerie's like, they look really small, but it's okay, Valerie. It fits all right. But I laugh. So I have one and I should wear them. I have one that's like leopards on the boobs. I have one that are deer. The sleeves are like spotted, like a fawn, and then two deer heads. And then I have one that are cats. So there's two just like house cats. So I guess I have a thing for accentuating the girls. I don't know. But I put this on tonight and I felt good. I felt good in this sweater. I'm like, I really like this. It makes me really happy. You got a zoo. I do, right? I bought the zoo. I don't know. I probably have more, but I know for sure the deer one I haven't wore yet. I have to wear that one. You will like it. When I saw that one, I'm like, oh, I must own this. I must own this deer sweater. It's so cute. But yeah, those eyes, right? Looking in your soul. I got the, right? What is the Duran Duran song? Oh, forget. That's Hungry Like the Wolf. They're not wolves. They're not wolves. Maybe her name is Rio. That's probably the one I'm thinking of, right? Where the girl, I think, turns into a panther or something. Her name is Rio and she dances on the sand. I was channeling not that one, not the Hungry Like the Wolf. I'll have to get a wolf sweater now so I can wear it. But hope you guys are doing well. Lots of stuff going on. Hello from Buffalo. I'm close. Buffalo like is only, what, Valerie, would you say? From my house to Buffalo, like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And we have a lot of freaking snow here and it's freaking cold. And I have decided now that I'm an old lady that I don't like it. I do not like it. I do not. It's 0 out of 10 would not recommend. I don't like it anymore. I want to live in a much warmer climate. I do not like the snow. And we haven't had it for a long time. Like it's been, at least where we are, Buffalo still gets it. But where we are, it's been like fairly mild. Well, we have a lot of snow and I think it went down to minus 32 Celsius yesterday. And I'm like, no, thank you. No, nope. Don't like it. And I haven't really left the house. And then I just recently have left the house and went like driving the car and I trying not to touch the steering wheel because it's so cold. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. So come down to Texas. Yes, but then I'd have to leave in the summer because I also can't handle the heat that you like. The extremes of both are no, thank you. No, it's not 10 out of 10 would recommend. Like I would stay and then when it gets that temperature, I'll just go somewhere. I think live somewhere moderate. I believe Hawaii has a moderate climate, right? Like it's pretty much the same, isn't it? All the time. I feel like that's a good excuse to move to Hawaii, right? You guys could come and hang out with me in Hawaii. So much to talk about. Remember, like I said to you guys, I think it was during the class, so not everybody, not all of you were there last weekend, that there was a lot coming out, lots going on in the world of Vicki Boutin and then things that are Vicki Boutin adjacent, let's say, like the new inks that came out with 49 and Market. I love Ranger. Like I'm a huge Ranger fan. I love all of it. So give me anything that I can do technique with, and I love it. Well, I had a Cizzix release with stencils and all the rest, so all of the Ranger stuff and the new 49 in Market inks just worked right with that. And then just this week was announced by my friend Janine at 49 in Market, a new mini release from Vicki Boutin called Irresistibles. So you may be familiar with the ones that came out in the fall that were really pretty. Well, we came out with a whole mini set. So this set is 3 new sets of rub-ons. It has borders and frames set and some words. So this is the new release that we're going to talk about tonight. I have put them up. I'm so on the ball. I'm so proud of myself. I sent a newsletter and everything, letting you guys know that. They're up on my shop. I'm sure they haven't arrived yet. So it's like a pre-order. So for your favorite stores that you shop at, some might not have them posted yet because some won't post until they're in their hands. I just put them up there because I'm like, the order's in, it's going to be coming. I believe they're shipping next week at some point. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. So if you haven't seen them posted at all your favorite places, it's because they are just going to be shipping. So very exciting. It's all exciting stuff. And it all really plays into the world of layers, right? You know, I love layering all of this stuff. So very exciting. Yes. And SBC Fest. So a lot of you, you got your kit already. I just got your SBC kit. So all of the links are in the description of this video. Hopefully Natalie can grab some and share my share a sale links for SBC Fest. Just click on the link. It costs you nothing, but that is how it's the kind of thing that we do with that, right? When you do some of these online classes, it costs you nothing, but I love for them to be able to track that the people I'm sending that are buying the kits. So it's gonna lots of stuff happen this week, right? So yeah, you ordered it today. I love that. It's a good thing. So some people will just get my kit. Some people will do the whole kit and caboodle because it's a really good deal. But just use my share sale link. It costs you nothing, but it helps them track where the people are coming from. And I love that. And I do get paid like a small percentage of the sales. So I love that. So yeah, isn't that exciting? Exciting? It's exciting. So that one is going to be fun. I'm going to be doing 3 double page layouts in that class, but there's so much left over that I'm going to end up doing a whole bonus Saturday class after on here on Vicki Boutin YouTube. So when you get that kit, there is an hour-long prep class because I use the stamp and the die that comes in it. I use the branch die. And so that's prep work. You need to do that stuff. So if you do, it's already posted here on my YouTube. You can see the prep class and decide if it's something you want to do. But we prep all of it and we do all the paper cutting. So when SBC Fest Day hits and it's my hour and 30 minutes, we're going to finish 3 freaking layouts because we've done all the work. Because I didn't give you just like a little class. I gave you a full-on Vicki Boutin class experience. So even though the time is an hour and a half and then we have an hour of homework, that works out about, I need 3 hours for a class. I can't really do a class without 3 hours. Right? So yay, it's going to be good, right? So you have all the prep for that and it's using cut and paste, which for the most part, scrapbook.com is the one who had the majority of that product. So a lot of you might, if you did my class, remember those kits sold out, people ask, is it the same? No, I designed a brand new class. And like I said, I have enough set up to do a bonus 3 more double page layouts and some cards. So by the time you're done, that we'll do 6 brand new layouts, double pagers. So that's, what is that? 12, 6 times 2 is 12 pages and cards. So, you know, that's the thing I can give a lot of is my time. So I thought that'd be fun that we could circle back and do like a double class. So if you are interested in that, yay. If not, because you've already done it with me, no problem. You can still join for free, right? The classes are free. It's just the kit that you're buying that you pay for, right? So it'll be good. So that's a lot. A lot of stuff came out all this week. And so you partake in what you do or none of it, and we still can be friends. But it is my job to inform So it's what I'm doing, right? Is letting you know what's going on. And then I have been messing around with these Irresistibles, and I thought tonight is a perfect, you will get to see the new inks from 49 and Market, 15 new colors. So now the set is 30 new inks. So I probably will change the description of this video and make it a two-parter that we can look at the existing 15 colors, the new colors. I have my Tim Holtz, which you know I love my Distress. So you can kind of, if you want to see how some of these colors mix in with that, I'm happy to do that, because I think that Janine has been conscious of that, trying to do colors that it's like the two can work together, because I feel very strongly, and if you have followed me for a long time, that this industry is community. I feel like if you hang out with Vicki, I feel like it's community. I talk about lots of different other aspects. I love people that could be considered competitors. I don't care. That's not a real thing for me. It's more, hey, my friend's doing the kind of same thing. And what's Michelle Obama say something about, and it rise all boats, whatever, all boats rise. I'm really part of whatever that saying is that the smart people say that Vicki can't figure it out. But I really feel like it's like that, right? So for me, love Tim, love my Distress, have worked with Janine, love that she has inks that coordinate with 49 and Market collections, because that's really kind of the driving force, is that you have colors that coordinate with all of the designers at 49 and Market. So it makes sense that color palette that she's building is going to be kind of the core color palette. When they're picking purples, they'll pick those purples. You won't mix a whole new one. So I think if you said what is the difference there, is that it's that they're colors that are meant to coordinate with paper. And that hasn't really been a thing as much. We usually find ones that are close, but there's the difference is whatever color she has pulled for those colors is the ones the designers use to then create their papers, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Right? Sometimes you can't find a color that won't match, or a color that will match. And now you can. So that's exciting. And then for me, I'd say my main mixed media tool has been Tim's Distress inks. I'd have to say, and I love a lot of what Simon does, Dina does, and Diane does. So I guess Ranger. I'm a Ranger. I love Ranger. I love, right? They're right there in New Jersey. I love that company. So to me, it just all makes sense that they go along, right? It makes sense that they all go along. And thank you, Natalie threw up affiliate link, so you can go check out if you're like, what is this SBC Fest she's talking about? You can go. It's primarily card makers, and then they threw me in for some scrapbooking stuff. So now, hopefully, right, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, but it's definitely a lot of card making, and then threw me in. But I love my card makers. I love being in there. I'm a card maker now too. I freaking make cards now, especially with my Cizzix release. So tonight I'm gonna open the stuff and I'm gonna demo it, and then you can decide, hey, I love it. Yes, I think I will enjoy working with these. I want you to look now at the Irresistibles are just like a workhorse. They are not meant to coordinate with any particular collection. They're meant to be a layer, because you know I like to layer and cluster. So the whole idea with these now is the art is there, but you can completely determine your color palette by what ink you use with it. So I thought this falls when I had seen a sample of this type of product with Janine. I'm like, oh my goodness, this fits totally into my wheelhouse. And I said, and we'll do the art. We'll design the art, and this will work perfectly if you release them around the same time your new ink comes out, right? Thank you. My sweater. I love it. Isn't it fun? So that's the plan. Do you guys have any questions? You already bought 3 of everything of the new release. You're awesome, Irene. And I will make sure that I support your purchases by giving you lots of inspiration, and then the design team, there's going to be lots of inspiration. Can you tell I'm kind of on a very excited high creatively? This week has been really, really good. It's been really good. There's new stuff that's coming out next month. There's something I worked on that I actually have all of it here now that is really recharges my batteries. And, you know, I vague book because I can't share it with you yet, but it's going to be good. All of this is going to be good, and it all works together. I'm trying to be very conscious of everything that I release is how it works with the last thing or the next thing or the new thing. So it's very exciting. So how you guys doing? Is everybody having a good week? Are we celebrating anything today, or are we celebrating anything this weekend? Did you guys have anything really rough that you're dealing with? Very sad that I saw today that Catherine O'Hara, right? It's O'Hara, Schitt's Creek fame, and being a Canadian, she is was on oh my goodness, SCTV have just been a part of my life, I feel like, forever. And so that made me really sad. I was like, oh no, because I know they were talking about a new Schitt's Creek reboot. And now I'm like, well, how do you not have Moira? So yeah, Home Alone, Second City, yeah, a lot of stuff. So that was really sad. I'm like, her and Diane Keaton, I feel like they're like you lost your auntie, right? Or like a mom or something. So that was been really tough. I have to say that was, it's not like I know her or have ever met her, but I feel like she was just a part of what brought me joy in movies and all the rest of it. So that was kind of sad. But I saw there's a couple birthdays. It's my birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Lydia. And I saw somebody else that it was your birthday. I'll look through because we do have to give you a proper happy birthday too. I love Schitt's Creek. Love it. I love Dan Levy and Eugene Levy. So it's my birthday next week. I love it, Gemma. Happy birthday. Okay, let's flip the camera. And I'm going to show you, look, I was playing. So I'm going to show you some of this stuff come to life. Come to life. These are the words. And we'll talk about why we did the reverse of it. Because you might look at it and go, why is the word inside and the resist is on the outside? And we'll talk about it. Hi, Leah. Happy birthday and anniversary to, is it happy birthday to all who are celebrating anniversary? Yes, Cindy, I agree. And for anybody who has had a rough week, I hope this brings you a little bit of joy tonight, because it's what we're here for. It is. It's just, I feel like it's going to be a thing. We're building a thing that we've already been building, but this year we're building a thing. I'm very excited about it. Is just community and something, oops, look what I did. That brings us joy. And being creative brings me joy. And anything I can share with you along that line, I am here for it, right? So, sorry, I'm trying to straighten it, and I think I'm just making it more crooky. Ugh. So give me a sec here. So yes, and everybody who's used my share sale links, I very much appreciate that. I was talking about that with my friend Greta this week, and I said, I remember, like, I never used share sale links because I thought it was weird. I'm like, does it mean, is it like something I'm going to be hooked up into? And now I understand. No, it's just a link that tracks where the sales are coming from, and then we make a small percentage of it, right? And it just helps me to do a class that is, in essence, a free class, right? It's just my way of, if I'm sending the people there, they use my link, you just get a little piece of the pie, right? So I very much appreciate it, but if you don't use them too, whatever. But yeah, just wanted to explain that, because when I used to, in the early days, I'm like, what is this? I don't understand this affiliate link stuff. And now I have a better idea of it because I use them. Not always, but I did with this one. Half the time I don't even have... Natalie will tell you guys, right, that half the time I don't know what's going on. So she'll be like, do you have them ready? I'm like, no, I don't have them ready. You know who helped me set it up too is Simon Hurley, because he's young and smart. So I'm like, Simon, help me. I don't know how to do this. I'm old. Help this old lady. And he got right on it, sent me videos. Freaking, I love it. It's like he's one of my kids. Although I still feel like I'm 16. I probably act like I am too, right? The share sale link is good next week, right? Yeah, those links. If you click on that link 3 years from now, it still will like hook it up to that thing. So yes, they are great. We need your foundations paper. Keely, I bought all of the remaining foundations paper. So it is at vickiboutin.com. And I believe if Greta's here, it's listed under Canada and the US. So I have cases of it. It is in Canada in my warehouse here, and it is in the US one. So if you need foundations paper, it's there, right? So it's there. So it'll be good. Okay. So this is pretty exciting. These Irresistibles. I was messing around with them here, and tell me if you, I'm going to demo each piece, and I'm going to show you how they work, and I'm going to be using all the new inks. And then we can make something too, because so the idea with this, right? So this is like a word rub-on. I use my stencil over top of it. This is a border rub-on. I'm going to work on foundations paper again. I don't want it to go away. Do you know what I have a lot of too is the black foundations paper. I have both. They're available to purchase in Canada, but you have to order off the US site. So just know that all of the things that apply with shipping from the US to Canada now, you might get dinged. Anybody, I order from scrapbook.com, and I might get the fee at the door, but I don't know, as a Canadian, I'm just used to it now, right? Who's singing Simply Irresistible every time Vicki says it? I love it. Are you doing the dance too? Because I feel like you need to dance and do that too. I need more black. It just wasn't very popular, Cindy, but I'll see what I can do to get some in for US shipping as well. I love the Halloween stuff with the Irresistibles and black foundations paper. Well, yes, because, oh, thank you for mentioning that, Jennifer. I'll grab some black so you can see how these could be used on a darker background as well. Because this, I think mostly is for inking, but you most certainly could use them as a white rub-on on a dark background too. Right? Thank you for that. It's very much appreciated. A lot of you guys have done it, and I very much appreciate that. Plus lots of extras. That's what happens, right? So look how pretty these are. So the idea, right, is that I want them I'm going to use them predominantly for inking. I really love that instead of stamping, putting white embossing powder and a heat gun, I have everything that's set up and ready to go. So some things that are rub-ons that would go on a background layer, some things that are like a word, like different handwritten words that can be layered. We have frames and then little pieces that go with it. And then we also have, I just got to find the set because I grabbed everything so you can see it in the package. And then we also have borders for clusters. I love that. And then 3 rub-ons. So the rub-ons that you get, one is called Vicki almost couldn't say it. Artful Edges. So there's borders, there's corners. It's fun. This one is called Artful Layers, which are like this, like the little background kind of pieces. And this one is called Artful Words. And it is versions of words and borders. So there's trying to, what could we do to split them into 3 sets of rub-ons? And then what do you think we could use? We were trying to do a whole background paper, but we just couldn't make it work. We couldn't, just the paper was really hard. So Janine might come out with it eventually, but right now this is what we've got to work with, right? We've got lots to work with. So I grabbed these so you see what the full sets look like. And then I've opened it and started playing. But I want this to be, right, that you would put this in the background, but we could still take things, right? Here's some of my die cuts, and we could still layer. Do you know what I mean? Like this would be one layer, but there's no reason that I couldn't put like a title on here, right? Smile, it's in the details. Something like that could go on here, right? That's a background word, and you'd have smile, it's in the details, and then you'd layer some of your other pieces on top. Like I wanted it to be, that's kind of how we would use it. And then you still could put, right? Layer all of your pieces. So when you do it, that you could have these kind of things going on. That's really the concept, right? Behind it is that it is easy mixed media. You don't have to have a heat gun. You don't have to be scared about using stuff that you don't use on a regular basis. So that is the idea. They're not meant to use just by themselves, right? They're meant to be clustered into your work. I know, but it's kind of hard when it's the class is through scrapbook.com, which is in the US. It's not something anybody else can order because it's exclusive to that company. Do you know what I mean? So it's a hard one. It's a hard one. So you do it or don't do that class, right? It's not like I'm not going to have lots of other options for you this year. So if it's not your thing, don't do it. You can watch a class for free, use what you have. You can do the homework class, just pulling stuff that kind of matches. But like I said, there's going to be so much coming. Don't feel, any of you guys out there, that I'm forcing you to be a part of anything. I just like to inform you. I like to tell you why I make things and what the reasoning is behind it and how it works in my head. And then I'm always like, do what you want, right? Do what you want. If it's not your thing, don't do it. Like, there's going to be a lot this year, and you're probably not going to be able to partake in everything. But it's going to be very exciting. I'm telling you, like, art arrived today. Art arrived for something that's coming down the road, and I feel like I'm vibrating. I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm so excited, and it'll be coming. I'll be sharing that probably April. So it's going to be very exciting. And then some very exciting what's coming in March. No, February as well. So it's going to be good. So do you guys want me to demo what's going on here? And I love that somebody said they love it on black. So I will grab a black piece. The only thing, if you put it on black, I'm going to try. I'm going to see if we could ink around it still. We'll see. We'll try. I'll grab some black paper, right? It'll announce, yeah, there's lots of stuff coming. I purchased the kit for SBC Fest. I'm so excited. My first page layout in years. I love it. And we're going to be doing lots of stuff, because if you've noticed on my design team too, I want this year to not just be about just scrapbooking. We're going to make cards, a lot of traveler's notebook and journaling, because I feel like I want to embrace all the different kinds of art. So you're going to see me do a lot of, that's what I'm thinking, Keely. We'll try it with the oxides, but the oxides don't react as well with the material in this. They leave a little bit more of a halo. But I always say, what the heck, let me try it for you guys. So I'll give it a try. I'm going to give it a try, right? So we're going to be doing lots of things, because I feel like I want to branch out of just what I've always done. I love albums, we'll do those, but different versions. We're going to make albums from scratch. We're going to use pre-made albums. We're going to use the quad folios this year. We're going to do a tag album this year. And we're going to art journal. And I'm going to do traveler's notebooks. And I'm going to do traveler's notebook with art journaling. That's what's going to be happening, right? Is the Saturday added class going to be different from I don't know, Jennifer. I'll look into it. Just somebody remind me of that or send me an email. But I only know what I'm doing there. I haven't really focused on anything else other than I love all of the card makers that are there. But I haven't, the Saturday added on class is going to be the day after, while we all have our stuff out. I don't think, maybe I can. I'll try, Jennifer. Just remind me of that. I understand what you're saying, because I said there'll be a bonus class with that and I would just go live. Maybe I can do that. I just have to make sure I'm home, because it's one of those, because the class is recorded. I'm just going to be on there like a premiere, chatting in the chat section, but I'm not teaching that class live. So I just have to see. My schedule's going to get a little crazy, right? My schedule is going to get a little crazy in the next couple of weeks. I have a lot of travel. So I don't remember if I'm home or participating in that from afar, but I think that I'm home. And would you guys like that if, when you have all your class supplies out there, if we do it like it's on the Sunday, that I could do the bonus class right after? let me know, because I've pulled everything. I haven't finished the layouts, but we totally could do that. Cut the extra paper and make the bonus layouts if you think you'd like it. Well, I think that's what Jennifer was saying when she has everything out to do the weekend, if I would do it live the next day. Heck, I don't care. I do whatever you guys want me to do, usually, right? So, yeah. And then everybody's kind of around. My only concern is I don't know. I don't know if it'll, we'll see. Okay. Maybe, or I don't know if it's a good idea after everybody's been doing all that all weekend already. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if everybody will find it or not. And I don't know if I should tread on that. Do you know what I'm saying? When it's kind of an SBC Fest weekend, if I should do. So we'll see. Let me think on that. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the table and my boob is totally just rusted. Anybody who knows, right? If you know, you know. I'm going to get a piece of black so we can demo all of it at the same time, okay? If you know, you know. Here we go. So we'll see. We'll see. But that, I think, is mine, right? Because I'm so conscious of just trying to make everything where it's fair and whatever, that I don't know if, we'll see. You're working on my original cut and paste class. I loved that collection. And a lot of people didn't get to partake in it, right? Because whatever I had sold out really fast. Dropping in to see all the goodness. I love it. I love it. Yeah, sure, you could doodle around it, right? Especially if you're using these, I think, in your art journal. This could be really fun. And you could see like how they would layer on top of other mediums, because they are a opaque white. So we will, this is just like an intro, but we'll definitely do more with this stuff, okay? We'll do more with it. But let's start with a fresh sheet. And we're going to do some on the black, and we're going to do some on, I'm using my foundations paper. So I want to say this too, is the difference with this paper has like a little bit of a coating on it. It's like when you use, you know how some cardstock is porous. When you feel it, it's very linen-y, like linen-like. So it's absorbent like a sponge. So when you go to put your ink on, it's really hard to move the ink around. The magic with this paper is it has like a sizing on it. Like there's a coating on top that almost seals the paper that normally when you think it's pulp, it would be porous, right? It kind of puts a sealant on top of that. So if you're like, could I put them on top of gesso if I pre-gessoed? Probably, but the problem would be that most gesso resists these water-soluble inks. The gesso resists the ink, so it's really hard to layer the pigment. This is kind of the magic of both worlds. It kind of gives you that layer like a gessoed paper would, but it doesn't go as far. It's still paper, if that makes sense. So when you ask, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna work on it, because if I can get samples of this paper and figure it out, then yes. You know, I don't know what I'll do when I run out of my 85 cases of foundations paper, because it is my thing. Like we need to have it, and we need to have it big. So let's do the things. So when you take a peek here, I layered, I'll do this again for you guys, a border. I layered a title. Do you see this pattern on top of it? I layered a stencil on top. So I layered a stencil on top, 85 cases. I'm not lying, Irene. I bought all of it. When American Crafts was selling and they had a whole bunch of stock on, I'm like, they found a whole bunch, and I bought all of it. I'm like, I want all of it, all the foundations paper that's left. So I did, I took all of it. So for me, there's some cases will never go for sale because I need them. And then we will just keep posting the rest. Wish I could hear you a bit better. The sound goes up and down. I've got my, is it for everybody the sound go up and down? I'm not sure, Linda. I'm working on, like I've bought a whole setup now to do a better filming setup with mic and everything, but I need help. So I don't know if it's just you, Linda. It's not with everybody else, so I don't know. And I'm not techie. I don't know how to fix that stuff. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What I would say most of the time is go out of YouTube and come back in, because sometimes you get a way better connection when you close it down and you come back in. So I would say give that a try. So that is what I did here. And then I just used a couple colors. That's a whole rub-on. But I love it. So this is what I was saying. Like when you do something like this, right? And it's just a layer underneath. It's going to be so cool when you go to do a layout or a card or in your art journal. Like any kind of art you make, I feel like there will be a place for you here. You don't have to only be a scrapbooker. You don't only have to make cards. You could do listing. You could be a planner girl. You could do art journaling. I feel like most of the things I teach that you could incorporate into your projects. Okay. And if there's something I have never covered that you'd like me to, there's stuff I want to do. I want to do some shrink plastic things. I want to do lots. So the only thing Vicki needs to do is start staying home. That's going to be a big part. I need to start staying home so that I can do the things with you guys. So with those SKUs, this is what I do with everything, is I take my stuff and I separate it into like things. So this is the border set that I kind of separated in by scale. And you're not going to see any of the magic on a lot of this stuff till I ink it. So this is meant that you can cluster. There's different scale of borders. You can cluster. I love that you do not have to use this with Vicki Boutin product. You could use this with anything that you have in your stash, because it's only a suggestion of a pattern. And then you can add your artful techniques and your ink colors. So if I'm going in with pink and you're like, I hate pink, I like brown, then you could ink with brown. So I love that. So that's the border set. I've separated all of my pieces. So you see there's tons of pieces in here. And this set is the frames. And then you have your words. So let's start with the words, and I'm going to demo some of this. I'm going to move the camera down a little bit too so you guys can see a little bit better, okay? This we did opposite. When I was working with Melissa, she's like, I think that it will be better if you ink the actual word and not around the word. And I was like, I kind of like it. I think I would rather have the impact of color in the word rather than the impact of color around the word, and all my titles were white. Okay, so when I show you, if you're like, what? I'm going to put this closer, okay? So sorry. Got to put my sausage arm in there for a minute. One day I'm going to have the camera that I can go beep with a button and do this. Right now, it's manual. I have to do it manually. But let's go like this. Okay, you ready? So let me show you. So let's talk about first, if you didn't hear, the story of the new ink colors from 49 and Market. I'm grabbing them because I have separated for some stuff. There was already an existing palette of 15 colors that came out last year, right? So with the existing palette, we have Pink Sands, just peachy, which my friend Shamel has been loving and wanting a peach. That's the peach. It's right there for you, Shamel. I love it. I actually think both of these, it's like a pinky peach and a peach. We have Daffodil, which is that kind of soft yellow. Cappuccino, which is a surprise. I love this color. So even though it kind of falls more into the dirty girl shades, right? But I love it. Cappuccino. So it's almost like a cafe au lait, right? Mix your cream in there. Salted caramel. These are the original, the first release. Strawberry pie, which is kind of an earthier red. Watermelon. Love it. Lavender kiss. Summer sky. Arctic blitz. Mint chill. My hands are so dry, and no pretty fingernails on this girl. Sorry. It's just a girl in their basement. Look at that. Mint chill. Rainforest. Green jeans. Off the Rails, and Fossil. Those are the first 15 colors. And I feel like Janine really did a good job with having a little bit of everything for everyone. So then just recently, the new palette released. So we have Pineapple. Isn't that lovely? Like what a lovely yellow that is. Key Lime, which I dripped water on. I'll have to make a new one. Key Lime. Love those citrusy colors. Sunrise, which look at that. It's kind of a rusty orange. Pink Lady. Look at that. Lovely pink. So Janine thought for sure, I asked for this color, that this would be my favorite. And I'm like, I love it, but I love this Pink Lady too. Doll Face, because it's kind of like a certain doll color that you know I love, but love both of them. Look how pretty. Pink Lady and Doll Face. I'm going to show you the other one that I really went kind of crazy over. I love it. Look at Twilight. And it is a sneaky little purple. I kind of really freaking love this color, right? And then Early Bird. I didn't know I needed this until Janine made it. I love this color, Early Bird. And I had said when she was doing colors, can you do a new shade of like a navy blue? I want a navy that doesn't really pull purple, right? And doesn't, I want like this kind of black navy. So freaking loving Dress Blues. This is definitely a favorite. I love this color. Isn't it beautiful? It is. There's so many colors, right? When you go through the color book, you can pick so many shades and variations of color. It's really hard to, you know, one might be your favorite and another one you wish you had. And I just feel like this one I really love. Shamrock. It's a beautiful green. I will love this for Christmas stuff. Cold Brew. I love this. Look at that kind of a reddy brown. Isn't it kind of delicious? I love it. Camouflage. It's a beautiful green. It is a beautiful green. Look at Frosty. Look at that kind of smoky blue. Isn't it pretty? I love it. I love all the blues too. Like I can never have enough. There's still like, even with this, I'm like, I still want kind of a baby blue. And you'll laugh, but there's like a shade almost between the two blues that we have that I'm like, I really want like a baby blue. It's crazy. There's just never enough. Tranquil Waters. Isn't it lovely? Engine number 9. And I wish I had a glass right now. Sangria. So these are the 15 new colors. So now we have 30 new colors with 49 in Market and Ranger. And they will mix in with your existing regular Distress from Tim. I find like none of the colors are really duplicated. It's like a great kind of sister, a Barbie to Tim's Ken. It's a Barbie to his Ken. So I love it. So tonight I've pulled out the new colors and that's what I'm going to demo with. So if there's a color when we're going through you want to see, I'll demo all of them, right? I'll demo all of them. I can't wait to see what you do with them, Murray. My friend Murray is here, super talented artist and friend. I can't wait to see what you do with them. So yeah, mine aren't labeled, but I did buy a whole new case for them. So I made space so she can come out with 3 more sets of 15. I have room for them in my new box. So I love it. So let's do the things. So I'm going to start with, let's pick some different words out of these titles. And we'll go with lighter colors. We can go, what does this one say? This says memories all alone in the moonlight. What else can we do? Discover. Let's pick a couple. A moment. Happy. So let's start with like demoing some different shades of different colors. So let's start with, let's go with Dress Blue because I chatted it up so much that I feel like let's ink with that one, right? Can you show your case? I'm going to pick it up, okay? I'm going to show you. So I bought 2 different ones. I just bought a new whole rotating carousel case for all of my, Tim, for all of my distress. Because Tim sent me the labels. I'm going to label it all and I'm going to set that up. I have time now. I got a bunch of work done and I have time to do that. And then this is the case I bought for this one, Debbie. It's heavy, so give me a second. I'm going to try not to break anything. This is my case. This is the case I'm doing my inks in. So I think I can get 2 or 3 more sets of this in here. Does that make sense? So this one is made out of like wood. It's an American company that sells this one. You guys will know. I'll look it up. Oops. And then I bought this. Are you ready? Because I dropped my camera down, so I'm going to have to squeeze it in. Do you guys know this one? You can't see it. I'll show you later. But it's funny. I ordered it online, and it is foam core. The whole thing is out of freaking foam core. But I love it. I'm going to be able to get all of my minis. I'm going to be able to get all of my distress and all of my oxides in it labeled. So I am moving on up from, yeah, I'll share where I got it after. Okay. So just give me a second. I'll share all of that. It's a good one, right? But it's freaking foam core. When it came, and it wasn't cheap. And when it came, I'm like, it's all freaking foam core. But it's nice and light, and I put it together myself. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Yeah, I'll share that one, because if there's share sale links with them, I'll definitely post that. I'll do that one. Yeah, it's a carousel. The other one's a carousel. So I am going to be doing a lot of Ranger things this year. I already told when I was talking to Simon, I said, I'm going to be using a lot of your paste. I'm going to be using new stuff from Dina and Diane, because I don't really have product with my name on it, and I don't really feel like I need it. I would rather, instead of you guys have to buy more, let's use what you have, right? So my focus is going to be teaching you tons of technique stuff with one of my favorite companies. They have not reached out. This is all by Vicki's choice, because I love it. So I'm like, I'm just going to do that. I don't need to branch out and do that. We don't need any more stuff. I'm just going to use what's already out there. So I'm excited for it, right? Yep, with Diane, I love the two of them. I'm friends with all of them. Dina, Diane, Simon, Wendy, and Janine, obviously. So, and Tim, I love him. He's my friend, even if he doesn't know it. Right? So let's do the things. So I'm going to demo. Do you like that? I'm going to demo this. And do you like when I said Tim is my friend, even if he doesn't know it? I tell him all the time. I tell him that I am his favorite. And I don't know why he blocked me online. He didn't. I'm just teasing. He's like, who's that weirdo who won't leave me alone? It's me, Vicki Boutin. Okay, so we have this one is Dress Blues. You ready? So what I was saying is the art is in the center, like it's the word and the resist is around the word. So when we go on here in ink, you're going to see it start to come to life. Look at that. Now with the darker colors, there is a little bit of a halo, right? So you can get in here and buff. But what I'm finding too is if you let it dry a little bit, I just spit on my paper towel, but you also can buff that off, right? You just don't want to play around with it. I think you could also use Q-tips and clean around there. I do love Tim. He is my friend, but I like to make jokes. And I could do this if I wanted to and just clean those areas, right? With your Q-tip. You just want to make sure you get a new area of the Q-tip so you're not just pulling that around. Or you could leave it and just have the halo, whatever makes you happy. But just know that color is going to leave a little bit. But I find if you let the ink dry a little bit, you can buff it off that again, right? So you see what I'm saying? If we would have done the reverse and the word would have been the resist, we would have been inking around the word. So all my words would have been bright white. So I like this vibe. When Melissa and I were working on this, she's like, I really think it should be the opposite. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't even originally think of that. So I am kind of digging that. I like that idea. So you'll see right where I cleaned it off, you can get the color to come up and have more contrast. What was that? You crack my son up when he walks through and hears random things. It's because I'm crazy. So all the kids love me. I do, though. I tell Tim all the time. Every time he brings something new out, I'm like, freaking, I love you, dude. Him and Mario, I love them. And I love like I said, I love the whole Ranger crew. Because I love stuff that I can use that gets me excited to do things that aren't just with my paper, right? So when I was with AC, we did come out with some different mixed media stuff that I still love and works. But I am not pursuing that. I just want to use what's out there. So I'm going to reach out to Ranger and just be like, send me the new stuff. I will happily for nothing. Just use it because I love it. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that color beautiful? That color. So that is your dress blues. And any requests? So first color you guys ask for out of the new, I will demo that one. I'll do them all. We'll do them all through here. And we can do 2 colors on here too, right? Well, but don't get me wrong. I want new stuff. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying that they do it really well. I would rather just use what's there. The purple. So let's go with this one first. We'll do Twilight first and then Sangria next. Twilight and then Sangria. Okay. So we'll do Twilight next. So let's go with Moment. Oh, I'll do all of them. So I'm seeing your stuff. So I'll just randomly pick it up. And we can do, look at this one will be fun. Why don't we do this one in both? I'm going to do part of it in Twilight and the other half in Sangria. Right? So you get in here. Look how beautiful this is. So you see what I'm saying? That you can do it in any colors. If you're like, I'm dark and mysterious, I want to go in with the browns and the blacks, you totally could. You don't have to use what I'm using. Sangria. Let me grab. We already determined that I'm not organized like other people are. I just wash all of my foams and throw them in here and just pull out one. So these are all clean. But maybe that'll be my next thing, that I'm going to get like organized in that way. Maybe never though. And it's okay. So that is partially Twilight, and I'm going to get crazy and let's throw some Sangria in it, right? Look at that. And then we'll buff it, okay? Then we'll buff it. And like I said, if you wet it, but you are going to, I think it's better to let it dry a bit before you do that, because you're still going to lift that color we just deposited. If that makes sense. You're still going to lift some of that pigment because it's still kind of wet. That I just lifted off of here, so I'll redeposit it. But isn't that pretty? So let's look. Could we watermark on these? I don't know if the material, how it will work, but let's try it. Because, ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? What do you guys think? Yeah, you could do that, but I am crazy and I just wash them and use them. I like to do that with my minis. I like to stick it under my mini, but look, it will watermark. Isn't that pretty? So what other color? I saw somebody had said, what did Frosty? Let's look. Frosty is fun. Let's do Frosty, and Frosty is very light, right? So let me show you Frosty. So do you think, I think some of them might be more impactful with some of the darker colors, but there's no reason you couldn't do two-tone, right? There's no reason some of these you couldn't do two-tone. But I love this idea because I like things. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. And here's the other thing I think too, is you could put one layer on, let it dry, and you could beef it up again. Because you know we couldn't layer when it's still wet, because you're just moving around wet ink. So you would definitely, we'll leave this and we'll come and put a second layer on after we let this ink dry a bit. You could heat set it too, because these are chipboard. That's the other thing is this really nice thin chipboard on these. So I definitely want to buff it a little bit. I'm just using a paper towel too. And sorry, it's dropping the shadow because my phone is so close, but hopefully you guys can see that. So we'll let that dry. We'll do that, okay? Tranquil Waters and Pineapple I'm seeing. Let's go in with Pineapple. And don't forget, I'm going to do some of the rub-ons too, but I want you guys to see this. So, Pineapple. And you can see here too, this is actually the Tranquil Water. No, it's not. This is my favorite one that I told you is that Dark Horse. No, maybe this is Tranquil Waters, or it could be, I don't know what it is. I did that too long ago. I'm like, I don't remember what I did. Could you use alcohol ink on them? I would say that it won't work because the alcohol ink is going to stick to the shiny part, but it's also going to absorb into the paper part. It needs to be something water soluble, if that makes sense. It needs to be something that would not stick, that is resisted by the shiny portion of these. Does that make sense? Because anything else is going to attach to both, so you won't see it. So this is the Pineapple. Frosty. I'm like, what did I just do? Pineapple. Look, it's sweet. Let's pick sweet. This was for Debbie, I think. She asked for the pineapple. Oh my goodness. Do you see what I'm saying with this yellow? I love it. But you see, you do get a halo. You guys can see that, right? So I would buff it, but once it dries a little bit, it should still be dry or be able to be lifted off of the others. So I wet that. I did lick it. Sure, some of you are like, what is wrong with her? And I'm often like, where does one begin? Just put water on here, Vicki. Stop licking all that stuff. I'm going to end up growing a third eye. But just make sure when you buff it that you're finding a new spot on your paper towel, because if you move the ink around, you'll redeposit it. But isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love it. And there's no reason, like, look at, we could go in here now with a little sunrise and do like a two-tone effect on here, right? I think they're fun. I love this kind of stuff. We are not reinventing the wheel. I used stuff like this back in the day. I think Heidi came out with some really awesome resist stuff. Do you remember? Like there were resist stars and hearts. And I'm like I said, I feel like we need to bring some of the old school stuff back because it was good. And I'm missing some stuff. Like rub-ons for a while where you couldn't find them everywhere. Now we're loving them, right? Look at that. How sweet is that? Yep, the Heidi swap. I still have it. The stars and hearts and frames. So that is fun. And you see I buffed it off. But I love that. Okay, let's do one more of these and then we'll get into some other stuff and we can layer it. It looks like candy corn. It does, Jolene. Jolene, Jolene. You know I could not do it. I couldn't not do it. I apologize because I'm sure you get sick of that, but I do love it. Love that song. What other color? What haven't we kind of, let's do something a little earthier. Let's go in and be crazy and use, why don't we try, how about cold brew, right? How about some cold brew and camouflage? I'll do both of them. We'll do earthy. Well, it's going to look like camouflage now, right? Let's do some camo. Do some camo colors. Okay, pulling up my sleeve because we're going to get in here. I'm going to go in with the green first, the camouflage. I will move stuff around though, so it's not so distracting. Oh my goodness, I have to listen to that. So Jolene was saying there's a new song out and it's about Jolene's son and he's a cheater. He's a cheater just like Jolene. I'm going to have to listen to that. Okay. So let's do it like this. Isn't that pretty? So this camouflage is almost like a gray green. I'm kind of really digging this color. Like really digging it. Okay. So see, that's camouflage. It is very beautiful, I have to say, right? Very beautiful. That's camouflage. And you'll see that there was, well, you might have seen it. There's some new releases out from Dennis and 49 and Market. And some of these colors will definitely match more of that vibe, right? More of that vibe. It's very pretty. Well, let's talk. Let's look at this one. And now we're going to blend in some cold brew. So it's pretty dark. Oh my goodness, though. I have to look at that. Kind of dig in the brown. So see, it deposits. It's on there. And you just buff that off, right? And there's no reason we couldn't come back in with some camouflage and blend that. And we're going to do some other stuff too. We're going to look at some other, because I don't see why we couldn't also revisit some of this and maybe stamp with some of this on here. Can I show you that? Let's do that on this one. I'm going to do it on this one. One of the ideas that I had. So I'm buffing some of that color out. I'll have to deposit it again because remember we talked about it because it's not dry. I could end up lifting off of the where the color's depositing as well. And I'm okay with a little bit of halo, but I do like the contrast. So look how pretty that is now. I buffed it off, but it's kind of like soft, right? So let me show you this other thought I had. Because you know me, I'm like, let's extend the use of it. That we could do a couple different things. So give me a second, I'm going to grab something. So, look it. You ready? What do you think? What are we going to get when we do this? I don't know. I'm doing this live with you. So I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. Oh my goodness. Now we just have to hope we can buff that off the rest. Let's see. Okay, Vicki. I don't know. Ooh, look. But we'll do more with that, see? Because I'm buffing it. Here, this is where we could do this, right? We could Q-tip it. And clean around. Yes, that's the ticket. Q-tip around it. Oh my goodness, look at what Vicki just did. Oh my gosh. Right? Love it. So you got to just find a clean spot on your Q-tip, right? So you're not redepositing the color. So I'll show you the full reveal. We're going to do the full reveal now. I don't even hate it when all the words showed up. But let's do it this way. This one is to show you, like using, so could you do a fine detail stencil on top? You could. You watch, like this is just, you know, when we're doing this, it's always just kind of to introduce you to some of the stuff, but I will revisit it and play so I can come up with some really cool things that we could do. But I have to say that, don't you feel like that was kind of a yeah? Like that might have got you a little bit excited to create, right? I feel like it is. Maybe you're like, not really, but you could just what do you say when you're like, just, you know, to make me feel good? You just pretend that you're excited about it. What do you think? What do you think? Hi, Rich Boutin. I just did something really cool. Do you want to see it? Okay, you know you have to just ooh and ah, even if you don't agree. Look at.
Nice.
That was not very believable. Don't you think, guys, he could do a better job? Freaking dude. Nice. Yeah, whatever. Rich, get out of here. You're not allowed to stay if you don't know how to do that. So, was I going to do one more? No, here's the blue. I want to go back in with this. So I'm showing them new product. This is new.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Remember we talked about it? That my family, I have to come and hang out with you guys because I don't get the proper, what do you call that? Support, or you don't tell me I do nice work. You don't tell me I do nice work. No, you don't.
All the time.
You do not. Get out. You're not allowed to play. Sidecar packs orders. That's his job. Yeah.
And to be an athlete, that's my other
He's
job.
an athlete. He packs orders, but he is not really good with the
That's what an athlete looks like.
Give that to me. So he just told me that's what an athlete looks like. I would say that's kind of what a dork looks like.
No.
And that is 100% a toque. When we were talking about a toque. But he wanted you to know the proper appreciation or affirmations. Validation, that's the word I was looking for. I don't get very much validation from my husband. So let's see if we let this dry a little bit. If we go in with, what color did we use with this one? With Frosty again. She's like, OMG, Valerie said that's hilarious. Yeah, the toque.
Valerie from Buffalo?
Yes. Well, she's not in Buffalo.
Nice. Lewiston.
With
the Eagles.
Yeah, with the Eagles. So let's see if we can build this once it dries, right? See, you can. Look at, I'll do half and half. That if you want to build the depth in some of these lighter colors, you would just go in and do it again. And once it dries, you can make it a little darker. Okay? He's hilarious. But I think he certainly can't be my wingman when I go on like QVC. We wouldn't sell anything if that's him, like, oh, nice. That's what he would say, oh, nice. Ding dong. Me and my eagle friends, yep. He knows, Valerie. He listens sometimes. He listens to some of the stuff. I'm looking now if it dried a little bit. Yep. So if you let your ink dry a little bit and then come back in and buff it, that works a little bit better. So those are the chipboard words. Okay. And then look at, we have frames because we need things that would layer. And I'm like, what are things that are just good basics? Let's do this one. It has some stars on it. What color, guys? Was there a color that you want to see the doll face? I'll go in with the pink. The pink. I'm trying to keep organized. Oh, you wanted the teal too. Let's do, did I do tranquil waters yet? We'll do it half and half. These two could totally mix to make a purple. So we'll do those, okay? Doll face and Tranquil Waters on this frame. This frame has little stars on it. So patterns are going to be stripes, script, stars, polka dots, just things that I think, oh, sure. So why don't I do that? I'll start with the pineapple. I'll go to Dull Face, and then we'll wrap it up with Tranquil Waters for an ombre effect. I think that'll be fun. I'm down. Let's do it. Like Tone Loc says, right? Let's do it. So we'll start and we'll do an ombre. I love it. We'll set up my blending tools. And let's go in with some pineapple. I don't know how much resist is on this one because it's just stars, but let's see. See, some of them are going to be very subtle, right? It's very subtle. Some pretty little subtle stars. So we got a little pineapple in there. Let's go in with some Dull Face, which is very vibrant pink. I'm very much loving it. So now this should start to make a little bit of an orange or salmon-y color, right, when it blends. And I will probably have to revisit it with the pineapple again to blend that color out, right? See? Start to make an orange now. Just because the pink comes in so vibrant. Oh, I should have come in. Let's see if I can still do it with a little bit of the pineapple because we can get a green out of that too, right? Ooh, I didn't want the yellow there though. Want more of the purple. See? So just come back, revisit. Do you see that we're getting kind of a salmon-y color where the two go? And let's finish with Tranquil Waters. Yeah, you could use the stamp on your frame as well, right? I love the Dull Face too. We'll go full in with that pink so you guys can see it. Because if you're like me, I needed that color. And don't forget, it's almost good when you're working to have a clean paper towel because your dirty fingers, because you have okay, a muy importante. There are resist areas, meaning that the ink is just sitting on top. So when you start pressing your fingers on, you're going to lift that ink. So it's almost good. My paper towel's dirty, but pretend this is clean. That I'd press on it while I'm working with a paper towel. So I'm not redepositing pigment where I don't want it. Or a finger mark. Oh my goodness, look at that beautiful green I make with that pineapple. And I should go in and be able to make a really pretty purple with Tranquil Waters. I didn't leave much space here for the Tranquil Waters, but you will see. So let's revisit that now with a little bit of Dull Face. Start to make a purple, right? And mix some of the pineapple. Just clean your inks because you will start to pick up that color. You aren't going to contaminate, but your blending tool will start to get a little dirty. Look at that kind of rainbow magic going on there. Because really, we just use almost like primary colors, right? How pretty is that? And don't forget, could you go in and watermark on here? You could, but I wouldn't because the pattern on this is just too subtle, right? The pattern on here is really subtle. So let's do another one where there's a lot of resist on it. So this one has looks just kind of like little dots, like, you know, your adhesive dot tool. That's kind of what that background looks like. There's a grid. Oh, I love the grid. Let's do the grid. And I'm going to do this grid full on in Dull Face. Or maybe half and half so you can see this color. What would you like with Dull Face? I could go on here with Early Bird. We haven't used that one yet. But look at this color. So my blending tool is probably a little bit dirty. But this has script and text. How pretty is that? So these are paper. So what I love is you still could totally go on here, right, with this. And you could watermark it. You can build the depth as your pigment starts to dry. Isn't that pretty? I won't put kiwi with the red because it'll start to make a little bit of mud. But I'll do early bird, I'll do kiwi on the next one, okay? But if I put green and pink together, because I'm mixing a secondary color, it will make it a little muddy, okay? So I'll do that on the next one. And the other thing is clean your craft mat, because you're going to pick that wet ink up and blend it in. So let's try this one. Doop. I love this. So this is early bird. And it is, oops, what did I just do? Did you watch me just do that? I don't even know where to start sometimes. Boop. So this is almost like a hydrangea-like color. So it's going to make a really pretty grapey purple where it blends. And you wanted a little bit of dress blue on here. We totally could do that, right? Look how pretty that is. And you don't have to. You could do everything in one color. You do not have to do a blend. Let's throw a little sangria maybe in the corner. Here we go. And as you let it dry, you can beef up your color, right? But look how pretty those are. And now what I love is I can add them to anything, right? I could add this to, look at any of my projects. And I could still layer another pattern on top if I wanted to. Right? Elevate it with color. Just blues, I sure can do one with just blues. And I can buff that out. The ink is wet, right? So if you wanted to leave it till it dries, you wouldn't be rubbing that ink off. But I kind of like that. Bring the white to the top, and then you have that subtle color layer with your white layers. So we have, now we want one in blues. So let's, what else? Let's do borders. Let's do a border. Do you want to do a border? And then I'm going to do something like where we layer some stuff on the background with the rub-ons. So let's pick a border and we'll do it all in blues. So in your border section, I wanted these to cluster. So some of the things you have, look at, we're going to do one of these for sure. We'll make a cluster right now. So these are half lace doilies. So let's pick one of those. We're going to do that. And then you have big borders. Look at all these. So this one is just a stitch. This one is a row of arrows. Ooh, my goodness. Oh, we got to do one of these. This one is multiple patterns layered. Look at the torn paper layer. And it has polka dots on it. Little scallop. Has a whole bunch of distressed pattern on it. And then you have this, which is has a lace pattern, a ruler. Ooh, I'm going to use the ruler. No, I want to use one of these. Like, you guys have to see this one. You got to see this one. It's going to blow your mind. Get ready for it, and I'll do one of these big ones, okay? I'm going to do a big one. And then, so, right, I said you have 12-inch borders. Then look at these ones. You have smaller ones, and every single, that's upside down. Oh, look at, let's put that too. We can put one of the little borders. So all these in there too. And then you also have little flag banners, right? Put the right side up, that you could do a whole row of flag banners. And some tickets. Tickets, labels, hearts, a butterfly. There's only one in there. I think we could do a whole set of butterflies, would be beautiful. You have little labels. So let's grab, we can do a whole bunch of colors, and then I'll get my tiny attacher out and we can do something fun with that. How about that? How about that? And that gives you an idea. Here's one of them, right? The same weight of laser cuts. Yeah, like they are Yes, I would say. Yes, I would say, Debbie, about the same weight of laser cuts, except for the words. Those are chipboard. Okay, except for the words. Those are chipboard. So when you look on the back of the packages, where did I put them? Over here. It shows you what's in each set, right? But it doesn't really show you exactly what you're going to get when you color it. But look at that border set. Be still, my heart. And this is going to be one of those. Is anybody cruising with me in April? Who's cruising with me in April? You might be getting some of these. But don't worry if you already bought them, because once you go through them, you're going to want, this is one of those things you're going to want multiple sets of. Because it is a consumable, and because you can customize them to whatever color you want. I just feel like this is something like I will stock up on. I'll use them all the time, right? So guess what? You're going to get these. You're going to get some really surprise. It's going to be fun for you guys coming. Cruising in the fall. Carrie, I'll have something else new and exciting then. Okay, because we're layering these, I'm going to do them in different colors, right? So you wanted something all in blues. Let's do this. This is going to blow your mind. So let's get ready for this. I'm going to make a little cluster border. And then we're going to layer it on what we're going to do. So let's go in with blues. So what do we have in blues in this new range? We have Tranquil Waters. We have Frosty. I'm going to go in with these. Okay, we'll go in with this. Tranquil Waters, Dress Blues, and Frosty. And that's what I'm going to color. This. Where'd you put your Tranquil Water? Here it is. It's on this already. Okay. You know I'm going to have something just as exciting, but different. But you guys that are coming on the, a newsletter is going to be coming out for the people coming on the cruise in April. A newsletter will be coming soon, right? Hi, Robin. Question. Will these be a stock item with 49 on market, or for we buy multiples now? I'd say buy them now. I don't know if they'll be restocked. Maybe if they do really well. I have them up on VickiBoutin.com. I put the link there. You know how I did bundles and stuff? You're with 49 on market not supposed to put anything on sale. So I did not put it in a bundle. They're just up there, right? But like I said, I feel like the stuff that you love, will we have these at Scrapfest? Maybe, Vicki. Maybe I'm going to be using them at my Scrapfest class too. Maybe I'm going to have a store at Scrapfest too. So just saying, yes. Yes to all the things. Okay, so let's go in. I cannot wait for you to see this pattern. So this is a border. Let's put the little piece down. Let's demo this baby. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Look at that art. So I'm going to go in with quite a bit of the Tranquil. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. So do you see that pattern starting to come out? Look at that pattern. Oh, isn't it pretty? So that was with Tranquil. No, that was with Frosty. That was Frosty. Yes, so if you are, they're going to be putting my classes up for Scrapfest. That's in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. And yes, I'm teaching the same classes because they're literally, I come home from the cruise and I go to Scrapfest 4 days later. I am doing 2 classes. One is all day on Saturday. Lisa's going to be posting soon. So I'm telling you, you're not going to want to wait on that. One is going to be an all-day class. I'm going to be introducing something for the first time. So that's going to be an all-day class. Look at this pattern. And that's going to be on Saturday, and Friday night is going to be a layout class. And I'm going to be using some of my new Cizzix. These are going to be in the class. It's going to be good, right? Here we go. Let's blend some. Oh my goodness, look at that exposed. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? And then let's go in with our dress blues. I'm not going to use much of this, and I might come back in with a lighter color too. Like the bigger pieces, we really can just kind of get the outer edges with the dark because you have more to work with, right? How pretty is that? Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, but yes, we're gonna have a good time. The cruise stuff, more information's coming. I've made the group for that one on, but you'll get info on that when the newsletter comes out from Cruise and Crop. So I was talking to Sherry at Cruise and Crop and working on, because the requests were Portugal, Spain. So let me tell you, and Connie, 100% you can come and be my assistant. You can come out and 100% hang out in that class because you're going to have done it all at the cruise. So of course, I'm not going to make you have to sign up for that class to come and hang out. Brand new. Hi, Patty. Signed up for your Scrapfest, SBC Fest class. Love what I have seen so far. For these borders and frames, can you use watercolor pencils? It's a resist technique, so it needs to be water. If you can, I'd say try it, but I'm not sure if it would work, if that makes sense. Try it, but I'm not sure if it will work. I'm gonna go in here with color again, just to build my depth, blend out some of that dark. The paper does almost have a coating even on the areas that are supposed to be the absorbent part. So some of it, it's almost worth that you'll let it dry to build your depth and then revisit it, if that makes sense. Like some of it, I would let it dry, because if you just rub the wet medium on, it's not going to soak in. The layers have to dry in between, and you could eventually start pilling the paper. So just kind of be conscious of that with how wet your inks are. But I love that. So there is one border, right? In our blues. And it's meant to go like this. I think it's a top torn edge, right? It's a top torn edge. So we could layer something else on top. What is this? Ooh, there's the ruler. That's kind of fun. I'm going to go in with pineapple on this one. Pineapple, and then I'm going to go in with some of the cold foam. Cold brew, cold foam. I'm just making new colors up. You could try them, but here's what I'm gonna say. Really, I would just stick with inks on these. If you go in with watercolor or anything that's too wet, your paper's gonna buckle a bit. And I think your best results with these are going to be with your water soluble inks. So any of the inks, like maybe Simon's inks are water soluble, you could use those, but that's what I would say. I think your best results. Did I miss any other questions? I'm planning on coming from Manitoba to Scrapfest again. I loved the weekend last year. I love that, Carissa. We do definitely have a lot of fun, and I do think that class is going to sell out. Those are going to sell out really fast. So when you get your newsletter, don't wait on it, because we have limited space for those. And like I said, it's going to be something brand new. It's going to be very exciting. So I'm going to go in here with this. Because it's so thin, I'm going to be careful how I rub so I don't bend it. Okay. So I'm going to go in with my pineapple. And then I'm going to darken up some edges with the cold brew. So I'm going to tell you, like, I think the effect on this is subtle. Like, it is a subtle resist. It's not, look at, that's what I was talking about, right? You don't want to redeposit that. but these inks stay wet, and that's what makes it like a workable medium. So you want to make sure I know that there is space for April if you still can get on the ship. So yes, definitely reach out to Cruise and Crop. It is not full. We had some cancellations. So if you still can get on there, if you guys live in Florida too, man, for sure, because it's going out of Fort Lauderdale. I would love more the merrier, right? So call Cruise and Crop and ask. I would love that. Who's talking about it? Is it Natalie? Oh, to see. I know. That's for Scrapfest. Natalie has a daughter getting married. I'm hoping she can come in, even if it's just for the day, because it just won't be the same, right? If we don't have her there. So I'm hoping she can, but I totally understand the life stuff that's going on, right? So look at, let's ink up a little. Oh my goodness. Kind of digging that. That brown, the cold brew really pops that color out. Look at me pulling in my Tim Holtz. Pulling in my layering and getting a little grungy. I love it. But it does. It makes it look more like a ruler, right? Loving it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carrie. That is, the life stuff is freaking hard. It's freaking hard, right? There. Love it. Not going to overwork that too much. Going to clean my craft mat. So you see what I'm doing right now is working to build a little cluster, right? Working to build a little cluster. And then we're going to layer it because I'm going to put the rub-ons on my page, and I'm going to show you how I would layer that on top. So I have a mess. I apologize. So far, oh, I dropped my water on the floor. Never have enough space, right? So I'm working to grow my cluster, and I really could use, if I wanted, maybe Discover is going to end up going on here somewhere too, right? So let's say that's kind of going to be where we're starting with our art. Okay, where we're starting with our art. So we have this piece that I want to add that's going to go underneath like this maybe, right? So I'm going to do something in that color family because it's a little dirtier than what I would normally do, right? Sorry, I had to get up. I dropped my water on the ground. So what am I going to pick? You know what? I'm going to go in with, I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to go in with Shamrock. I'm going to use Shamrock and some key lime. Shamrock and some key lime on this. What do you think? Are you excited to see it? Shamrock and some key lime. Blendies. Stay organized, right? Okay. Shamrock and key lime. Here we go. Oh, how pretty is that? My hands are very dirty though, I have to say. I can see some yellow and stuff going on there. Look at that. Okay, that's our key lime. How pretty is that? Is Greta here? Greta! She got busy and forgot. She was having a life. She's like, Vicki doesn't leave me alone all day. I try to get away from her. But she's pulled in. She can't stay away from what we're doing. We'll even put a little camouflage on here. We went in with like a bunch of the blues. Why can't we do that with the green? Love it. This is my idea. Let's see. Let's see how it turns out. Are you ready? I'm going to do this. We're going to try it and see how that turns out. So give her a buff. Let's find a good paintbrush. And we're going to do some watermarking with camouflage on this one. Let's see if it'll work. Now the only problem is, Vicki, when you're doing this, I can't, well, I will. I'm going to lift a little bit of it. That might not have been, you know what would have probably been even better? I could have watermarked with white. Look, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to come back in, dry that up, deposit some color, and I'm going to watermark with clean water. That's what I'm going to do instead, and lift it. Yeah, Greta has been good. She's been helping. Connie has been emailing her, asking her questions. And she is really awesome. Right on top of all of it, right? Very lucky to have my team. Hi, Barbara. Vicki, question. How long does it take for the ink to dry on these? Well, look. It's dry. So it would take forever to dry on the embossed area, the resist area, right? But it should work pretty quickly to dry on the other areas. Ooh, kind of digging it. So what I was saying is we could totally go in and also just do some drips to make it look a little distressed, right? And then lift that. Totally digging it. Okay, so now look at this. Some of you guys must be loving the colors I'm working with here. So boop. Now here's another part of our cluster, because you know it's my jam. Look what we just built there, right? So maybe I put maybe more like that, right? So what else do we have? Oh, we have a border that could layer on here too. So let's do something in that's going to pop on top of this. I'm going to get crazy, and I'm going to go in with sangria. I'm going to go in with sangria on this one. Hi, Dorina. So see, we have our little flag banner, our little pennant. What would you call these? I never get the name right. So you could leave it if you want that purple on there, because sometimes I won't want the contrast of white. So see how it does leave a halo? Look how dirty my hands are. Leaves a halo. You might want that. You might not want that white resist on there. I'm going to kind of leave it on there. I'm kind of digging that. And now I have a butterfly. So what color do you want me to go in? I could go in with the greens again, or the teal. I could go in with the tranquil water. What do you guys think? Or the navy, because I would put him probably here, right? But I want to stay in this color palette. Like, I don't want to get crazy. I don't want the rainbow on here. Bunting. That's correct. I think that's what it's called, bunting. So, what do you think? I could make an orange butterfly. I don't really want a pink one. But look at, we haven't done these colors. I could go in with Pink Lady and Engine. You think the navy, but don't you think it'll get lost on here? I don't know if I want to go navy. I still want it to contrast. Can I just be crazy? Why can't I do the rainbow, right? Why can't I do what? I'm going to go in with Pink Lady with maybe, I agree, with maybe some of the cold brew. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the pink with some cold brew in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. You ready for it? I don't end up having to use any of this together, but you guys can see this pretty color I haven't used yet. My hands are so dirty. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. I feel like we need a whole package of these. I love it. Go down the middle with some cold brew. Earthy that up. Look how pretty. Love it. Buff that up a little bit, clean it up. I might throw a little bit of the sangria in there too. Ooh, I love that. Look. Buff that up. And I'm going back in with Pink Lady one more time. Going back in with the Pink Lady. Oh, there. I'm like, what did I blend that with? But that texting or putting the text on there, kind of loving it. Okay. Pretty, isn't it? Look it. Okay. So now we have some elements. So guess what we're going to do now? I'm going to make a background and layer this on top. So if you guys played along, you totally could make a layout when we're done. So I have to make a little space here now. And now we're going to layer rub-ons, and you're going to see, so these are all elements that can be lifted, popped up, layered, stapled. There is no reason I'm going to show you some wow. Are you ready? Because guess what else I'm going to blend in here with this? I'm going to do some of my Cizzix. So we're gonna make a layout now. I told Rich I wouldn't be on here long. It's gonna be 10:30 before I'm done. I'm moving the camera back up because you're gonna need space to see. I'm so excited though. Get ready for it, okay? So I can demo one thing, but I like to show you how you could actually use this stuff. If you're gonna spend your money, I want you to see how now you could turn around and use this stuff. Are you ready? I'm excited. Can I do something crazy maybe? Let's see. We'll see if it works, okay? Here's my little bin of die cuts. So there's no reason we couldn't go in. What do I want to add? I'm going to try with a pink butterfly and 2 flowers. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Let's try it. Are you ready? So Vicki is elevating. We're gonna do, because I like to refer to myself in third person. We're going to try something. It might work. It might not. Let's try it. Are you ready? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so rub-ons, artful layers, backgrounds, okay? You have borders. We're going to use one of these on our background. So this is edges. And then we have words. Now, words aren't only words. So I'm going to pick the different things. But I have an idea. I have an idea. So with words, I've already cut a piece out. There are some borders in here. There is a lot of this is hand drawn. There's hearts, heart clusters. There's numbers. There are, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a whole strip of words that I drew and made a background of. So there's borders. And then we have these big words. Love, love it, photo, us, you, discover, happy, inspire. And then there are smaller words on here. Currently, photograph, like a word cluster. Hello, friend. Favorite, amazing, today, noteworthy. This is meant to be layered with other stuff, right? So that's one set we will use also in our background. I want to go in here with artful layers. And I'm going to see if we can't do something fun on our die cuts. So when you take a class with me, I might duplicate some of what I'm doing here. We might do this again. If it turns out really well, I'm going to use it again. I just want to make sure I'm going to ink on, I'm going to use the flat side. Don't use the textured side for these, okay? You want a flat side of your cardstock if you're going to do this. There is a rub-on here that's all text. I'm going to use it across these three. Scissors! Okay, so I want to put a little bit of this rub-on where there's text on here, and let's see if when I ink this, it's going to resist on color as well. So I'm going to try to cheat and see if I can only put part of the rub-on on here without taking it off the background. Rub-on tool that I just had here, but now my desk is a mess. There it is. Okay, let's put our stuff aside. I'm going to see if I can transfer part of this on here. I do not care if the whole thing comes on because I want this to be just partial. So we're taking this now to the next level. We're going to do a demo. It did, it worked. You just got to burnish some of it, right? Because some of them, the whole word came off. So I'm just rubbing it behind because they are, in fact, these rub-ons are like a sticker. So just going to do that. And we're going to see if this is going to work. And I feel like it is. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do part of this on my butterfly. And hoping it'll work. Feel like it is. I don't know if you can see the shine. So I have now put rub-on my cardstock. So if these were black, would this work? Yes, but I'm going to ink these and we're going to see if the resist is still going to work on our cardstock. It could work and it might not. We'll see what happens in a minute. So I'm going to take whatever's left over on here. Is there something dark I can show you? See, there's still rub-on left, and I'm going to use it. And I'm not going to throw that away. Anything left over I can totally use. So let's do another little flower. Okay, now is going to be the moment of truth. Is it going to work? Is it not? I don't know. Because I didn't try this yet. I'm doing it live with you guys. So you will see if yes, we have success, or it's like, it was a nice thought, Vicki, but no. Okay, let's go in. What are we going to go in with? I'm going to go in with Doll Face. Okay, pray for me, guys. I really hope this works because I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I want it to work. I want it to work. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? Guess what? It's craziness. Why is that white rub-on look like light pink? Seriously. Why did that just happen? Why did that just happen? Because it's awesome. So you just got to clean it up, right? Because the extra rub-on is there, so I love that. I love it so much. So look at, I just took one of the new cuts from our new Cizzix, and it totally works. So I'm going to do dark in the middle, and I'll go in a lighter color. Look at that. It's working. Yeah. Freaking love spending time with you guys. That the stuff, just sit here and go, I wonder, would this work? And then guess what? It works. I'm gonna go in with some pineapple. So now I took my new Cizzix die cuts, and this is when our world all starts to come together. And I did not have to get a stamp out. I didn't have to get a heat gun out. Look at what I just made. Creative magic. I agree. So do you have to have foundations paper? Absolutely not. But use the non-textured side of your cardstock, because the rub-on isn't going to stick. But look, we can add a little bit. Let's add a little bit of purple on here too. A little bit of sangria. And I'm just using my blending tool. I'm not even getting the thing out. I'm just going to blend it in the middle. Oh, love it. There. So now we have 3 elements. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I just grabbed my cheeks. I was so excited for that. So let's do our background. Now we just built more elements to go with what I just did. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But look it, this is what I talked to you about is, right? If you're like, I'm so excited, I bought the Cizzix stuff. I don't want you to be a collector of fine scrapbook product that never comes out of its package. Now, I hope what I do when you come, and I do tons of this free content, right? Not everything is a paid class. I do those too because I got to pay the bills. But I do this stuff, so if you're like, I went and bought it because you told me I needed it, but I don't want you to be like, but I never took it out of the package. I want you to hang out with me on these lives where I show you stuff and you're like, this, I have to say, This I'm excited about. That turned out beautifully. That turned out beautifully. But these are consumables. That's the only other thing is once that's gone, it's gone. So just keep that in mind, right? That it's not like a stamp set, or it's not like the what am I trying to say? The dies. Like once you use it, it's gone. So now we're going to make a background. It'll still be there, Dorina. I still want you to have groceries, so don't, you know what I mean? But you're excited. Now you know when you're ready to bite the bullet that you have some ideas for using this. So do you remember what we just made already? Let me grab it. So what have we created? So this is how our pattern's going to go. We have this border, right? You might want to cut it down. You might not want a full 12 by 12. I probably will cut it into 2 pieces and use it 2 different places. So we know we're going to kind of do this, right? So I'm going to cut this off right here. I like that little number piece. I'll save that for another day. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make it bajiggity, like it was meant to be a weird end. Save that for something else. Save it for another day. We know we have this. We know we have this butterfly and we have this border, and I might cut a piece of that ruler off as well. Right? Yes, I'm going to cut it off at 10 and just use this piece. And I'm going to go like it's torn on a little bit on the edge. And I can make a mini cluster out of this. I will end up using this and making a mini cluster. But for now, I want that to kind of go like this. Pull this down a little bit more. So we know the base of my layout's going to kind of go there, right? And we also know that we have Discover in this earthy, dirty Vicki girl that it's like, who is she? Love it. So we have our clusters going. How pretty is this? And then you have your butterfly, but we also can pop a little bit of color down here like this. Maybe one up here. And we can have a second butterfly. Look at what Vicki just made. Here's a cluster. Look at that. I'm going to take all of this off, but look at. So now I want to use a rub-on the background and a stencil, and I'm going to make my background for this. Are you okay, Vicki? It is grungy, but look at, I tied in some freaking Barbie pink in there, and I'm loving it. So I am going to tie into my background now, probably the salmon-y color. I'm going to make it. I'm going to for sure use some Pink Lady and some pineapple probably in what's going on in the background. And then probably this navy, right? Going to use this navy. And you know what's fun, Vicki, is I had no plan tonight. This just came together, and that's the magic of making, is to sit down with no plan and go, I'm going to try this new product. You get excited as you start using it and go, freaking on, now I'm going to make a project. But this could be a card. It could be in your art journal. But I'm going to make a background for a scrapbook page. So I'm going to go in here now. We're going to use some of the rub-ons because we can put those right on the base. And I'm also going to use a stencil because I'm going to get crazy and we're going to layer. Okay. So I'm going to put my rub-on here. I'm going to stencil, but I'm also going to create pattern down here with the blue. Blue's going to go down here. And then you 100% could use a frame too. I'd probably, oh, well, this one could totally work, couldn't it? Could use a frame. So you don't need anything, but I'm going to add something because we're not done. Because look at the other thing that could end up happening too, kind of turning tropical. Vicki is bringing the color back. Is there's no reason I can't go in now too with some of my layered die cuts. Oh my goodness, all the product works. All the product I talked you into buying this week. Now, I just gave you a reason to use all of it. Right? Just gave you a reason to use all of it. Because we can go in with all of our, look at how pretty those are. And we can add some leaves. Right? Some leaves. I want you to feel like when you invest, look how pretty this is. It's so important to sit down and just play with it because yeah, you can spend the money. You can do that. You can go into the store, you can buy the things, but a lot of times then it just sits and you don't use it. And I want to give you a reason to use it. So look what we've just done. It almost has like a Hawaii, like tropical vibe, right? But the only reason you change that or way you change it is don't put the flowers on. Put something else on there. So look at what I'm doing. Boop. Just took it all off. So I know now I want to do something a little navy down here, and I'm going to build with the pink and the yellow up here. So 2 things I'm going to use. You never know what's going to happen when you join me on a Friday night. I had no plan for tonight. There was nothing planned out. I'm just coming up with this as I go. Just coming up with it as I go. I want something from this set. Let's look. Okay, so, okay. There's like this little florally thing I'm going to kind of put over here. I will revisit these techniques though, and I'm going to make sure I keep a lot of these for myself because I'm loving it. So I'm going to put this rub on. I don't know if you can see it. Take these off slowly. They will stick a little bit to the backing, especially the big long ones. So can you see this a little bit? See, it's kind of this like floral vibe going on here. And we know that we did this like little thing that's going to go on in this corner over here. So I'm going to put this right here as like a cluster for behind my butterflies. Okay. And I could bring that to life, but I'm going to layer some stuff first. And then we know I want to do something that's on the bottom here that I can put that blue in. So what do I want to pull off of here? We have corners. Oh my goodness, there's some beautiful stuff on here. I'm using this whatever I want. I'm doing what I want because I want. I'm going to use this other big one right here. And then I think I'm only going to put a couple of these circles down here. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm using all the same set. You're going to want this layer set. Greta, we need to order more of the layer set. I'm just saying, it's really kind of stunning. Not going to be enough. I'm going to need more. I feel like too that this is just going to get you excited for some of the, like when we introduce stamps and we have other stuff that you could do this with yourself. I think it would be fun. So I'm going to put this guy up here. Okay. And then I'm going to ink this and then decide what I want next, because I feel like you need to see this come to life. Okay. So you need to get that all rubbed on. And guess what? The other thing with these rub-ons, if part of it doesn't come off, it doesn't matter. They're backgrounds. So you don't have to worry about, like, I'm not very good with rub-ons. If part of it doesn't come off, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to know that it wasn't part of the design. I have to stand up because I can't see, because it's white on white, right? I might not get to black tonight. That might be just for another night. Because look at, I got crazy and I'm doing tons of stuff because I'm excited. Okay, you need to see this come to life now, okay? You need to see this come to life. So I'm going to Vicify this now, okay? We're going to Vicify this. So I'm going to go in, like I said, with Pineapple and Pink Lady, and I'm also going to stencil on top. Could be with a whole different color. We'll see. We'll see where we're going to go. So I know that I want a little bit of pineapple in here. It's not very dark, so I'm probably going to have to go in with another color too. But I need to tie these two together, okay? So I know I want some pineapple in there. You can see it starting to come, but there's not a ton of contrast in there. So when we go in with a little bit of darker color, we're going to pull more of that. We use Pink Lady. I think it's this one, Lemon Tool. I'm doing all the things because you know I'm excited. Watch this reveal. I'm probably going to have to go in with a darker color with this though. Because I feel like these are really pretty and light, but you're not going to get the full impact of this without a little bit more dark. But we're going to build a background because I'm also going to stencil on here, okay? So I will go in with another color that, what can we go in with our stuff that we've used? Let me look at my stack. I could pull some of the Barbie in here, right? The doll face. Look how quick. Why do I love this kind of ink? This is why. Like seriously, how quick is it to pull in and create a really fun pattern? But it's not dark enough, right? You're not seeing this exposed. So we need to come in with something. How pretty is that? Something that's going to make those pop. So I'm going to go in with, oh, I'm going to get crazy. Guess what I'm going in with? I'm going in with cold brew. I can revisit some of the pigment, but I'm going to go in with a neutral to bring out, oh, I don't even know who I am. Who is this lady? Going in with all the dark stuff, right? You could cheat though, and use your stamps and white embossing powder, Irene, and make it from scratch. You definitely have the ability to do it, right? So I'm going in crazy. Ooh, my goodness, look at that. And then I'm going to revisit. Don't worry, we're not done. So for some of you, like, why did she do that? Don't worry, I'll come back in with the bright. But I want to be able to see some of that rub-on. And I'll show you how I'm going to tie it together, okay? Show you how I'm going to tie it together. I'll revisit. I'm going to go back in with the pink again. Let's blend out with some Pink Lady. See how that color's coming back up to the top? So I can blend my dirty out a little bit. And that's Vicki's vibe. Like I wouldn't want full on brown on there, right? And then I'm going to come back in with a little pineapple. And that's enough with the blending. We're going to go in with the stencil. And I'm going to go in the stencil. I'm crazy. I'm going to go back in with Pink Lady on top of this with my stencil. So dupe, pineapple. So I want you to see, because right now you might be looking and going, that's kind of hot mess. You watch. Remember this. I want you to see how you're going to be like, I can't believe she just made that out of that. I'm going to make that out of that. I want to pull some of that. Oh yeah. Some of that in there. Look how pretty. Let's pull some in here maybe. Okay, look at that going on. Are you ready? First thing we're going to do is we're going to watermark now. So I'm going to go in because this is all solid and I want it to look like this a little bit. And I'm going to put on a little bit of, especially around your outer edges. I always like to soften where it looks like maybe the little circles happened. Don't do too much of it around where your rub-ons are because it is going to take that detail away, okay? So now I only have this super dirty paper towel, but it should work. Oh, yes. See what I'm saying? That just softened that whole effect, right? Soften that effect. Now it doesn't just look like gobs of ink. We did this. Okay, we did this. Now, normally I would take my heat gun or let it dry, but so, right, if you're going to do this later, you're going to let this dry and then you would go in with your rub-on. with your stencil. But I am wild. I'm just trying to make sure there's no, oh, that's so pretty, friends. Okay, so now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a stencil. I put them somewhere. Vicki, where'd you put them? So look, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this kind of in this area. And so this is one of the new stencils with my silhouette Cizzix stuff. And I'm going to stencil over this now with Pink Lady. I don't want to introduce another color. I'm going to go in with what I have already. But it's a little dirty, so I'm going to wait my blending tool because there's a lot of brown in there right now. Okay, and I'm going to do a little bit of a pattern up the middle with this stencil. Do you know what song is in my head? Do you remember the 21st night of September? I don't know why, but that's what's in my head. Are you ready for the reveal? Let me peek. Are you ready for the reveal? Oh my goodness. Seriously. Why do you think that song was in my head? What word or whatever did I just say that would make that have come into my head? Can somebody tell me? What is wrong with me? Where do we even start? This is one of the prettiest things I've done in a long time. Seriously. Scrapfest event is, do one of you guys know? April. It's in April. So I literally come back from the cruise and Scrapfest is 4 days later. Rich is going to be there, possibly Devin. Look at that, friends. I love this. So we just tied in those rub-ons. So now they're not just kind of floating in space. We'll be doing something like this again. This is going to be probably when you come on the cruise or you go, I'm going to do a little bit of watermarking again, just because I took some of it away. When you come to Scrapfest, we're going to do backgrounds like this because I am ordering ink to share. We're going to be using probably this set of stencils. So we will end up redoing this in some kind of version there because I love it. I love that. So see if that white, I'm going to teach you something too. It's got to become somewhat dry, but see if some of that white, you're like, it's too white for me in that area. I don't want it to be that harsh. Got to make sure, did I dry it? There's no reason I can't go back in with my blending tool and what I get is just a softer version of yellow, right? So it doesn't have to be full on white. I can blend over and get a new shade. I kind of like that. I don't want it to be too contrasty. How pretty is that? How pretty is that, friends? I have to say, this is one of the prettiest backgrounds I've made in a long time, don't you think? Do you remember Vicki needs her, what does Rich not give me? What am I waiting for you guys to do? Ooh and ah? I'm waiting like, oh my gosh, I love that. You're like, sorry, lady, just keep doing the work. Dance monkey, my validation. Yeah, or something. I need something. My head checked. I need my head checked. So I'm going to put a little bit of navy down here now to tie in. Are you ready? There are little circles. There's some little circles. I'm going to take all 3 of these circles off here and I'm going to build my background. Isn't that funny? I'm looking, going, do they love it? I hope they love it. So we know this is going here, right? This goes like this. Oh my goodness, how pretty is this going to be? That's going to go like that. We know the yellow is going to be tied in like this, which I love. Look at tying it in. We know the green is going to go underneath like this because it's a cluster. We're clustering. But look at, we need something going on down here, right? Otherwise, it kind of looks a little disjointed. And we have our discover. And we know we have our butterfly. That's going to go kind of like this. Something like that. So you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to tie now a little blue right here and then a little blue down in this corner. So what circle? I'm going to put one of these up here and we're going to see if I can do it without making a mess. I'm going to do a half circle up here, okay? I want to use more of it. So I'm going to do a half circle right up here. Then I'm going to put some blue on. So I'm cutting this in half. And it's going to layer right here. It's going to layer right there. I hope the ink's dry. If my ink isn't dry, that rub-on might not stick. So just know that, okay? Your ink needs to dry. So if your rub-on isn't sticking, it's because your background was wet. And this might happen because I'm not really waiting. I'm not being very patient, okay? So just know that if your rub-on doesn't stick, it's because your distress ink, or in this case, the 49 and Market ink is still wet. So it can't stick to the background. So if this doesn't stick, it's not that the rub-ons are faulty, it's that I wasn't patient enough. I'm going to put this full one right here. Let's remove this. And hope for the best. Hope for the best for me. Because now I'm afraid after I did that, I'm like, Vicki, that might not work. It might not all come off. Oh, it did. It did. Oops. It came off, so we're good. Okay. I was worried. There was nothing to worry about. It transferred. I'm going to cut this one into a little bit too. Like this. And it's going to go off the bottom of the page and some of it's going to go right here. I love it. I'm excited for this because it's going to tie our blue in so it's not just half and half. So I'm going to put one off the bottom of the page too, down here. And we're going to make these like little blue polka dots, like little bubbles. I have little wish bubbles. Okay. And this guy. And then this guy. Oops. I didn't take the backing off. I'm going to not introduce a new color. I'm going to go back in with our dress blues to tie in, I think. That's what I'm going to do. What do you guys think? Now, dress blues is pretty dark, and then I think it won't get too, make up too much mud going on top of the yellow. It could still make a green, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing because we have green in our little doily. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's see. So there's one here, 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 and here. So we'll start with a little early bird. We can, or tranquil waters. How about that? A little bit of tranquil waters, and then we'll finish it up with dress blues. I'm not even going to load this. Oops. I'm going to use whatever is already on my blue. That is not very sticky. Did you see that? I'm trying to resist. Don't resist. Oh my goodness, friends, look at that. So I'm trying to ink it just in a circle. There's one up here and one here. Look at that. Okay, I'm inking a circle. See that? Oh, I love it. And now let's go in with dress blues. And like I said, I'm not even adding any additional ink on here. I'm just going to use what's already on there. Kind of love it. What do you guys think? I'm going to buff them a little bit. Oops, I just lifted all the color off. Don't do that. I wet it a little bit. Don't do that. I'll go back in. Don't wet it with these. Don't even do it, Vicki. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Tranquil Waters. Art journal would be, this would be beautiful in the art journal. And that's what I said. It's product that can be used in multiple ways. It is not only tied to traditional. A lot of people might only use it that way because that's how they craft. But you know, it's not how I craft. I do all the things. I do all the things. There we go. Love it. So can I show you something else before we finish? Now, this is what I would do. I'm going to go in and put a couple little blue drips on here because I feel like to tie that color in, we're going to do a couple of just drips in the blue. And I'm going to go in the dress blues and put a little bit of watermarks on here in blue. Right, so it doesn't look like polka dots of color. Let's make it tie in. Vicki has a mess on her desk. Now don't put them everywhere because then it just looks like a mess. But, okay. Love it. Do you see how paint splats tie your art together? Like that just kind of tied my page together, right? We'll let that set up a bit. In a perfect world, you would leave this to dry. Like I wouldn't finish this page. I would not get my heat gun out. I'd go, okay, I'm gonna go have a snack and I'll come back and finish it. So I hope this isn't such a mess that you can't even focus on what I'm doing because there is stuff everywhere. But we're done inking now. We're done the inking. You got to see all of that come together right from nothing, right? It's kind of exciting. So just a little bit of a tidy up so I don't drop everything on the floor. Letting my ink dry a bit, and I'm going to finish. I'm going to put our stuff on this page now. Like I said, in a perfect world, I would let these dry, but I don't have time for that. So I'm going to lift. Ooh, so pretty. The only thing that's, see that right there is bugging me, but maybe we'll cover it with a photo anyway, so don't worry about it, Vicki. Don't sweat the small stuff. So in a perfect world, those would go way darker blue if I let that sit there and dry. Right now I'm lifting most of the pigment off of it, right? But I would normally not be doing this. I'd let those dry a bit and they'd be dark blue. But because I want to finish my page, I'm lifting that. It's very pretty though, isn't it? So there's your close-up of what we did. Boop. And now we have these elements to layer. So I'm going to cluster. I'm not going to put a photo on here. I don't even think I'll put a mat. So it leaves you with do whatever you want. But I am going to finish with the pieces that we have. Oh, I love this. This is so getting back to what we do, isn't it? It's so getting back to what we do. Oh, makes me very joyous. So I'm going to cut the top off. I think that's straight. It wasn't straight at all, so let's try that again. It's hard when I'm not standing up, right? I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. There. Okay, there. Yay! There's our base. Can you use a dryer? You sure could. I could have used a heat gun too. I just don't feel like getting it out. So that's why I'm telling you, you could do whatever you want. Vicki, oh, look at now. Do you see that? I love it, but we're going to need foam dots. So I'm going to pop this up. I feel like I don't want it flat on my background. So I'm going to get some foam. This is a really thin foam, and I'm going to pop this base up. Right at the bottom so that I still can layer other things. Okay. Ooh, I love it. So we know that's going to kind of go there. And then we have our yellow border that I'm also going to pop up a bit. It's going to come off a bit. We know Discover is going to go on here like that. And let's just start, I'm going to just start gluing stuff down, okay? Because don't forget when your photos go in here too, because I feel like I probably would do little, like this would be kind of a little photo or one big photo. And if you end up covering most of this background, you could always extend it again. You could put that stencil on again and build up a little bit more. But let's do the things. I am going to use some foam dots. I want my tiny attacher. I'm putting the foam dots along the bottom of this because it's going to layer on top of the blue. I'm going to glue my blue down. You know what song's in my head now? No parking, baby. No parking on the dance floor. That's the other one that I'm singing while I'm working. No parking, baby. No parking on the dance floor. Beep, beep. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. No, where do we begin? Right? Where do we begin, friends? Does that look straight-ish? Does it have to be? No. Is it committed? I might be committed. I think it's pretty crooked. And then I'm going to layer this right here, boop, like that. Yep. And don't forget, you could use this with pattern paper. I'm just, because we're focusing on a new product, I just really did everything with what we have already. But it doesn't have to be a full-on mixed media background. You could use other stuff, right? There's our border. We have our green tied in here. That now, because I glued stuff down, do I want it to go? Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate it. There, we've Discover. It's going to kind of go like that. What else did we have? Oh, our purple border, which is kind of fun now because it pops. Right? Purple border. I love it. And then we need to accentuate, accessorize. So I definitely want to layer some elements. for butterfly. Might cluster them more here, like that. Is that upside down? I can't tell now. I think that's the right side. Oh, that's upside down. So we'll do this. Let me show you. Because I'm excited. Look. So you could cluster if you want like that, right? To kind of rest the eye. And put a little center in there. Oh, I like it. Yes, Vicki, I like it. Yes to that. And I could do it down here. Boop. Very much love it. And then we have our other butterfly. That, what do we think? Oh, maybe down here. I don't know. He might not make the cut now. Tie that green in so it's not just up in that corner. I don't know if it needs much of anything else. What do you guys think? Look at, I have these, which I love, right? We could tie in our green from here in that. Remember when I said when we made some of this stuff that it was meant to be just your layering main pieces, right? I like that. Look at. What do you think? And your butterfly, when you add your other art, maybe when you put your photo in here and a little label, you could do that. But right now I feel like we don't need him, but he could come back on here. But for right now, I'm going to say edit it. And I would definitely probably be going in, like you could put a brown mat on here, or right, once you get your photo mat on here. But look at that, friends. What do you think? This is not my normal color palette. You guys would have to agree with that, right? But I feel like, do I have a photo just to give you an idea? Now this photo might not work, but it's a photo. It's a Christmas photo. It doesn't really go with this, but to give you an idea, right? But you get what I'm saying, that it will, when you will rest all that pattern. And then I would carry the stencil a little bit more. I'm not going to put this photo on here, but you guys see that, right? Once you put your mat in there, some journal strips down here. You could put subtitles. Like I said, when we start mixing some of our scrapbook stuff in here, could be really cool. Kind of rest the eye, right? Like, look. Discover. Every picture tells a story. Mat your photo. Extend. I would extend my stenciling a little bit up above here. But very easy to just put that together. I'm going to take the phone down so I can show you this a little closer. But I think what's fun is really when we started tonight, I was excited just to show you a new product. But now that I got to play with it, you get to see the versatility of its use. Can you guys see that? Look. That stamp on here is really fun though, right? And then you have some of the new Cizzix. Yes, if you haven't already, please thumbs up the video. And also, the color looks off. I'll photograph it tomorrow. Thumbs up the video, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when I go live, because we'll be doing lots of stuff, right? Tonight was just a totally off the cuff, boop, up my nose, totally off the cuff, no plan, but super excited with how that came together. Like, seriously, that one, I'm really excited about how that worked. The stamp on there, right? It's a great marriage between all the collections in a color palette that is totally not what I normally would use. Kind of excited about it. Now as I look at it and it came together, there's some things I'd alter a little bit just so there was more contrast. But I'm very excited about this product. Like I said, today, I just went, we're going to focus on this. Was so excited that I got the YouTube link up so early. And then when I started layering the stuff and playing with it, I love it. But I wouldn't use it. I would mix it with pattern paper and other embellishments. So it kind of was accentuated. But you love my sweater? Me too. Look, isn't it crazy? Rawr. I put this on and I was like, I feel good. I like this little sweater. So thank you. But yes, friends, I put my links up if you want to get it at vickiboutin.com. We ship to Canada, US. For international, just get in touch with us and we'll work something out with you guys. It is available. They're pre-order right now. They are not shipping until February. So for a lot of you guys that put orders in with me, we're holding your orders. So you ordered inks, you've ordered some of the Cizzix, and you ordered some of these Irresistibles. We're just holding your order. And then, so they haven't showed up in every store yet because they haven't been, they're shipping like in a week, I think in about 7 days or so from Notions. So just so you know, they're coming, right? So if you have a favorite store you love to support, I love it. Just know if they don't have them up yet, it's just because they haven't, it's a pre-order right now. Janine did a little show of these this week with 2 new collections from 49 to market. But like I said, it's in the warehouse. They just haven't started shipping yet. Okay. Any questions? You make my heart sing. Thank you, Joanne. You guys make my heart sing that you let me come on and do this, because I am not lying when I say I had no plan for tonight other than I was going to demo. I did not know magic was going to happen, right? I didn't know that it does match because I have a leopard. Can I show you something? So very excited. So when I was in, I think England, so I love crocheted flowers. So that's my little zebra with the crocheted flowers. And then I'm going to try not to hurt myself getting this. I just ordered antique paintbrushes, and look what's in with the antique paintbrushes. Isn't that fun? So I love it. I'm like trying to kind of redo my, see, look. So I'm going to try not to hurt myself. And I did comb the back of my hair today, so you can see the back. And then I have this guy who Tim loved. I think Tim went and ordered him. I got him. And he's got flowers in his head too. So I think I got these back in the day. Michael's had them. I love vases and containers, but thanks for noticing. Thanks for noticing. I love stuff. I have too much stuff. So, do you guys want me to post links to my outfits? I probably should. I have a lot of clothes. I have some things that are very cheap, very inexpensive. I have some things that I spend a lot of money on because I love them. And then you have a daughter who you said that you love these I don't know how you say the designer, Geigers. I saw a pair of shoes on Instagram that I freaking fell in love with. They were gold with rainbow hearts on them. And then they literally on the top of the shoe have a brooch. So there is a bow with rhinestones on them. And I looked and went, oh my gosh, those are way too much money. It's right before Christmas. I can't do it. And so I'm opening my Christmas presents, and I don't care about what I get. I'm just excited for my family to open the fun things that I got them. And sometimes I do well, and sometimes they're like, this is stupid. And And so there's Devin's like, save this one to last. And so I save this gift to last. And when I open it, it's the freaking shoes. So I start to full on bawl. I'm going to cry thinking about it. I cried the other day too. I'll tell you what I cried about. I start to bawl because I'm like, one, oh my gosh, she was listening. Two, she ordered them and I think they came from the UK. Three, her and Riley spent a lot of money on something to make me super happy about. I did post a picture of them on my stories, but because they're pricey and I don't want people to judge me, because people will judge. And I'm like, my kids bought them for me. Were they expensive? Very expensive. Do I love them? I love them. Like, I'd put them in my scrap room. I don't even care if I wear them. I love them. But they're like, like snot was running. I was sobbing because it was my mom who did that for me. Like, no one else has done those kind of things. Like, just that really something, like, you know, Rich buys me practical gifts. He'll do things, but he doesn't, he's not that guy. He's great in a lot of other ways, but that's not his thing. So then I'll tell you my other thing that I have a problem that I love to watch reels and stuff, right? And then, so I was watching one where they were showing people, like if they're at the airport and their mom shows up, and I'm watching it because then they're like, Mama, and like they're so excited, and it's in all different languages, and it's just like, they're surprised their mom shows up or their kid shows up, and it just was this thing. So I'm watching it, and then when the girl's on there and she's like, saying mama or whatever, and then I totally started to I'm gonna do it now, totally started to sob because I was like, oh my gosh, they're so lucky that they get to hug their mamas, right? So that's, I think, what all of this is about for me. Is I have moments of joy, I have moments that are really hard and joyous at the same time, that I had somebody who was like that I would be that excited to see. Happy for those people that they get to hug their moms. And then happy that I have Fridays that I get to come and do this stuff with you guys. Because, like I said, do you have to buy all the things? No. If you want to, I didn't mean to cry, but I wanted to tell you that I was sitting there filling orders at my shop, the Canadian ones, and just took a break to watch, now I can't see, took a break to watch Instagram, and that little thing came up, and then I did like one of those like, oh, and just started to sob because you forget, right? You forget. So I just want you to guys to embrace the joy, embrace the hard stuff, do things that are just for you, right? Do things that are just for you. And thank you for joining me on these Fridays, because it matters, man. Like, it matters. Like, this stuff, this concept, Janine and I came up with. Melissa and I kind of went with it and made these really fun backgrounds. I sat down today just to demo, and look what happened. Look what happened. And so if I didn't have this platform and you guys that show up for me on Fridays or after, because not everybody can be here live, I wouldn't get to do what I love. So I didn't mean to cry, and I didn't mean to make you guys cry, but that's what I'm saying. That to have the really good stuff, you end up with some really bad stuff, but then you remember that it's bad because it was good. So just keep smiling, take care of yourself, do the things for yourself, find the time to make. If it's a card, if it's art journal is all you can do. If you are not into 12 by 12 scrapbook pages anymore, you don't have to be. I'm going to show you options, because there's a lot of you out here who probably hang out with us because you love the community aspect, but maybe you're not into scrapbooking anymore. And I just want you to come back and make the art with us, because it's really, really, really good for, I believe, your mind, body, and spirit, right? I always say that all of these, like, I create the product that's a seed, and then you plant your garden, but you get to decide what you're growing there. So thank you. It was so much fun. Have a wonderful weekend. Some of you guys, I'm going to see you tomorrow for the bonus class from Curiosities in Willow Grove. I'll tidy up my space. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure that you go to the private Facebook group. The link is there. There's no instructions or anything. We've already cut the paper. All we're going to do is pull embellishments, and we're going to make 3 more scrapbook layouts. I'm going to get up early because I didn't fussy cut anything. So I'm going to fussy cut some butterflies so I can do it with you guys. But the tears come from a good place. I'm sad because I don't have her anymore, but I wouldn't have that if I didn't have an awesome mom in the first place. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So it's not all highlight reel, right? We're all living through our own hard stuff too. So thank you for letting me share it with you. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys later. Some of you I'll see tomorrow. The rest I'll see next week. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'll be here. I'm planning on going to see Greta so we can do some planning. But I want to be back in time for our Friday night because I think I'm away then the following Friday. We'll see. Because Rich and I are going on a little vacation, just the two of us. So I'll see you guys later. I love you. Thanks, Natalie, as always. If you have any questions, email me at info@vickiboutin.com. I think we have some other giveaways I have to draw, but I don't think it's time yet, but I'll be doing that. Lots of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. And yay, very excited. See you guys later. Thank you for letting me share. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, friends. Bye, guys.